Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Mantok here. Today we're going to do a short flight from Stansted to Duxford. We're going to do a touch and go at Duxford, and then we're going to return to Stansted. If I just have a look at VATSIM here, you can see we've lost the ground controller at Stansted, but no matter. We've still got London Stansted approach, or Essex approach. We're going to take off from Stansted, go up, and then come down again. And it's just going to be a small exercise. It's going to be VFR in the A2A Cherokee, and it's going to be a small exercise where I can wet my whistle back in the world of VFR, entering and exiting control zones. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I do know that of late I have been going into more of an IFR frame of mind, what with the A2A 182, Cessna 182 with the Flight 1 Garmin GTN 750 avionics suite. That is very exciting, and it's all fun. But I don't want to ignore the previous aircraft I've been flying with and my previous modes of navigation. Go VFR. I never will. I don't think I'll ever stop making VFR videos. So this isn't like I'm going backwards. It's just that of all the playlists that I have on my YouTube channel of aircraft, the Cherokee needs a VFR video, and so not to, like, I suppose, major on the most latest aircraft only that ever come out, because that's what everyone's interested in. I'd like to continue building up my little libraries of videos on different aircraft. So here we are. We're just going to do a short flight here today. It shouldn't take too long, and it is going to be fairly involved because we are going to be leaving a controlled zone to the north, touch and go, and we're going to come back and re-enter that zone. So we do have ATC at the beginning and the end of our flight. So yeah, apart from this chart here, I just got it from, this is where I usually go for UK charts, as the NATS website, the Aeronautical Information Service, and it's under Aerodrome Index Specific IAIP. If you're wondering where on earth these charts are, and every single, if we go backwards, every single airport, or most of the airports in the UK are listed here, and you just go to the one you want. This one is going to be London Stansted, and it gives you all of the relevant charts that you need, free of charge. Lovely. So that's the one chart that I'm going to be looking at, because it gives me the VFR circuit, or the VFR routes to and from the airfield. So depending on what area of travel where you want to go, you'll be leaving via these pre-planned routes. And the one we're going to use is, we're going to use the M11 that goes north from Stansted, or it goes past Stansted, it goes down to London. Oh look, there's Stapleford, that's cool. But yeah, so that's where we're going to be going. We're going to be following the right-hand side of the M11, and as we get close to Duxford, we will descend. We're going to get into the Duxford circuit, and we're going to do a touch and go, and then we're going to return. Do excuse my voice today. I've had like a chest infection, chest cough thing for a while now, over a week, and I'm just going to see if I can try and ride it out. Controlled airspace with an upper vertical limit of flight level 195. This blue section of tower controlled airspace is, let me see, 3,500. Yep, that's true. 3,500. We'll be cruising probably 2,000 feet is all we really need, because it's actually really quite close to Duxford. Let's actually just run to the Duxford chart to see if we can pick up some interesting information about circuit altitude and so forth. Aerodrome textual data, don't need that. Aerodrome chart is pretty much the only thing they have here. Let's just right click and rotate clockwise. Okay, zoom in. So the elevation is 134. Bearings are magnetic. There's the M11 as it passes. We will be landing on either 06 right or 24 left. We're going to be on that runway there. There's a grass strip there as well. This is where a lot of the Duxford Air Show. This is basically where the Duxford Air Show happens every year. It's really cool. But yeah, let's have a look. Runway 06 left, 06 right. Any other information I need? What circuit altitude? Aerodrome elevation is 125 feet. So my circuit altitude above sea level, let's just call it 1100 feet. It's not going to be controlled airport today, so there's no one going to be there. It's just going to be me, so I'm going to fly the circuit at 1100 feet. So that's really not that far away from my cruise altitude, but you know, we'll have fun. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to jump in the aircraft now. Oh yeah, no, quickly, just before I do that, that's the Duxford chart. That is Stansted, and this is the Stansted chart. So we are going to be on one of these stands over here, the 505 to 508. This is the area we're going to be. We'll probably be given taxi to hold Victor 1 or Uniform or Golf, or Whiskey 3, depending on, no, Golf 1, yeah, depending on which runway we're using. Let's just have a look at the wind. Wind is going to be 030 at 9 knots. So we're going to be using runway 04. So we'll probably be given hold at Golf 1. So we'll probably be taxiing Golf to Golf 1. Yep, and let's have a look. Any other information here we'll need. Frequencies, lighting, taxi, no, stand, no, that's pretty much it. Yep, and we're not going to be going above 2,000 feet, so we really don't need any kind of transition altitudes or transition levels or any kind of information from approach or departure charts. This is all VFR, so it's going to be fun. Yes, right, let's jump in the aircraft without much further ado, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, ladies and gents, we're back in the aircraft here, sitting on the GA tarmac at Stansted. I don't think there's actually any aircraft currently here, unless they've just come in the last few seconds. Oh, okay, yeah, there's one. There's one, the A2A. Oh, I don't know what that is. That's bad model matching on part of FSIN. I apologize about that. I'm not using VPilot because VPilot also is not model matching my aircraft correctly, so FSN is the best thing I have at the moment. But here we are in Stansted, and we're going to be flying north to this airfield. If you can see it, it's a small dark streak. We're going to be going up the M11 to the north. So here we are. We're just going to... I've just done my run up, and my engine's ticking over nicely, warmed up. Everything seems to be okay, and I seem to have enough fuel. Let's just have a look. Actually, let's just be unrealistic and pop full fuel tanks, and I'm gonna let my oil sit there actually, because I want to see what the aircraft looks like if I don't continually renew everything. But okay, strobe, no, it's not flood, red, no, we're all good. Okay, we're going to make first contact with excuse me, we're going to make first contact with Essex approach. So let's just go and double check. Let's refresh VATSIM. London Heathrow's on, but we won't be dealing with him. Ground is off, so the only one we have to talk to with is approach. And that other aircraft that was not model matching correctly is apparently an Airbus A320. So 120.62 is my frequency. 120.62. Okay, so we're going to do, let me just check my my config here. Voice, VATSIM, volumes, key mappings, lovely. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do...
ET-17 more, welcome to Luton Taxi Bar Alpha, stand number 6. Well, Alpha to stand number 6, EC-2174.
Did someone just land? Wait, who was that? Was that Luton? That wasn't Luton. I thought he said Luton for a second there. I have no idea who that was. That sounded like an incoming aircraft taxiing to stand 6, but I can't see him on VATSIM, so that's confused me. Yeah, that really does confuse me. Anyway, let's do our best here. The checklist I need to do is the takeoff checklist. I've already done my startup, so I'm pretty much ready to transmit, and I'm going to do a radio check. And we are Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo. Good afternoon, Stansted approach, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo with you here at GA Parking, radio check.
Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo, good day, Essex Radar, readability 5.
Thanks. Okay, readability 5, we're all good to go. And this is going to be calling for our departure clearance. We're going to call for VFR departure to the north with information X-ray QNH 1017. Good afternoon, Essex Radar, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo requesting VFR departure to the north.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, start approved, call taxi, it'll be clearance at the hold.
That is taxiway Golf, clearance at the hold. I assume that's Golf 1 for Foxtrot Romeo?
Foxtrot Romeo, you can taxi via Golf, hold Golf 1.
Taxi Golf via and hold at Golf 1, thanks, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, so that's our taxi clearance, and we are ready to go. We've already started up, of course. Some airports require you to ask for a startup clearance. I personally, I mean, they have no idea if you start up or not. They just know that you're moving, I imagine. So I always start up first so that I get my radios and everything done, and I listen to ATIS, which I did just before I hit the record button, by the way. And so Golf is going to be here on the right when looking at our chart, which is correct. Golf to Golf 1, lovely. We're just going to turn by the way, just so that you know, the real weather at the moment is actually overcast and raining, but I asked the controller, am I able to do a VFR flight today as long as I customize my visibility, and he said yes. So I'm actually not flying with real world weather at the moment. Real world weather would be basically completely overcast, and it wouldn't really be VFR conditions, but here we are. I'm just going to lean my engine for ground operations. Oh, yeah. Probably fouled my spark plugs there, but I just pulled my...
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, have your clearance when you're ready to copy.
I'm able to copy now, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Foxtrot Romeo, clear to leave the Stansted zone via the Audley end VRP, not above altitude 1,005 feet on the QNH 1017.
That's cleared to depart via Audley End VRP, not above 1,500 feet, QNH 1017, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Boom.
Foxtrot Romeo, rebank right, it'll be a left-hand turn out after departure. Report ready for departure.
Will be a left-hand turn out, will report ready for departure, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Boom. That is the way it's done. And I did that while...
Essex, good afternoon. Alpha 320 Papa Lima requesting clearance to Katowice, Peszowice.
Alpha 320 Papa Lima, good day, Essex Radar. You're cleared to bits via the Clacton 4 Sierra departure, runway 04, squawk 0331.
Okay,
Essex, can you say that again, please? Alpha 320 Papa Lima.
Alpha 320 Papa Lima, you're cleared to Katowice via the Clacton 4 Sierra departure, runway 04, squawk 0331.
He's going to make his answering transition.
Roger, clear to Katowice by Clacton 1 departure, squawk 0331.
Alpha 320, Papa Lima negative, it's in the text there. It's Clacton 4 Sierra.
Roger, clear to Katowice by Clacton 4 Sierra, departure, squawk 0331, QNH 1017. Alpha 320.
Alpha 32, Papa Lima, feedback is correct, report fully ready.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo ready for departure with a left-hand turnout, holding short at Golf 1.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thank you, surface 020, correction, 020 degrees at 7 knots, runway 04, clear takeoff.
Clear takeoff 04, thanks with a left-hand turnout, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, takeoff checklist, controls free, flaps are up, tab is set, that would be my, let's just set my trim tab. Mixture is rich, let's just put mixture rich, yeah, mixture is rich.
Essex, ready. Yeah, basically.
Carb ready
ready.
heat is off, carb heat is
Alpha 320, Papa Lima, thank you, pushing south.
is off. Oh, actually,
17.
carb heat is off, that's correct.
Roger.
Fuel on proper tank,
Approved,
it is.
QNH 101.
Electric fuel pump on, let's put my electric fuel pump on for takeoff. Doors latched. Altimeter and heading is set. Safety seatbelts on. Boom. Here goes, guys. Right, so we've got a little bit of a wind going on here. Okay, that's 80 knots. And liftoff. Okay, we've got a left-hand turnout, not above 1,500 feet to Audley End. Audley End VRP is a VRP to the north on the M11. Let's just do some trimming here, trim forwards, just so that we don't rocket up into the sky. And we've got loads of speed here, loads of speed. We can climb up to 1,500. And apologies about Stansted terrain there, folks. Stansted terrain doesn't have...
Foxtrot Romeo, so it's an hour's round traffic service.
Thanks, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. He asked, he said I've got an aerodrome traffic service, so...
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, my apologies, I'm thinking on tower there. It's a radar control, inside controlled airspace, report leaving the zone.
We'll report leaving your zone at Audley End VRP, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, let's make our turn now. Remembering to stay below 1,500 feet. There's some nice hills just there.
Essex, I have pushed back and ready for engine startup. Alpha 320, Papa Lima.
Right, let's pull my throttle back to 75% and my
Okay,
mixture
Alpha
back
320, Papa Lima,
to
start
75%.
push. Taxi left on Lima, hold Lima 1.
Very good. So I'd say 100 feet
Roger,
below is fine.
To holding point Romeo by Lima 1.
And the reason why I'm not
Put in the text there for you.
the reason why I'm not using Plan G today, folks, is that I know this area fairly well. There's the M11 just to our left.
Roger, taxi to holding point Lima 1 by Juliet and Lima. Alpha 320, Papa Lima.
Lovely speed. One thing we could do now is pop our landing light off. and probe heat should be on. Beacon lights on. Where's our probe heat? Where is our probe heat? Where is that probe heat? Strobe light we can turn on. You know what? Just for ease of use. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Boom. Probe heat is now on. That could have been a problem. Right, let's pull my throttle back a little bit more because we are just on the edge of overspeeding. So Duxford is actually to the north, if you can see it off there in the distance, and right way up in the distance you can actually see King's Chapel of Cambridge, which is where I live. So now we are at, we are just following up the M11 north, just as we showed, and we'll get to Audley End in a moment. I'd say Audley End is the next bend up. If you have a look at my screen, Audley End is roughly about here, so we're quite close.
Requesting permission to taxi. 320
Excuse me, I've still got a
Alpha 320 Papa
bad
Lima.
chest.
That was the last instruction. Taxi by Juliet, Link Lima, hold Lima 1.
Roger.
Excuse me, guys. Really, apologies. So, Audley End is coming up. Golf Foxtrot Romeo is approaching Audley End VRP from the south.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thank you. It's a basic service outside control airspace. Report visual with Duxford.
We'll report visual with Duxford, basic service, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Cool, so he's got us a basic service of ATC, so because we're not going too far away from Duxford, he is actually continuing our service, which is very nice. And he's told us to report visual with Duxford.
A320, correction, Alpha 320 Papa Lima, you're heading toward the wrong threshold, so
and that is
left,
Duxford right there.
Again, we're using runway 04.
So let's just set up for our approach to Duxford.
Roger, making a left and left to runway 04, IFR 320 Papa Lima.
Duxford is going to be 06. That's our heading for the runway. So let's just change that on our heading bug. Golf Foxtrot Romeo visual with Duxford now.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, Roger, suggest you report your intentions on 122.8, and then if you call me back once airborne from Duxford.
Will do, I'll call you back after I've done my touch and go at Duxford, Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thanks. Okay, 122.8. Let's just change that. So let's just go pop that in the chat actually. Unicom. So Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo entering Duxford circuit for a touch and go. So that's put on the local of Unicom. There we go, so there is Duxford. Our wind is still 040 at 11, or 030, sorry, at 11 knots, so we're going to be taking runway 06, so let's just descend here to 1100 feet, which really is only a few hundred feet descent, and then we're going to make our left-hand turn onto right base. So it all makes beautiful sense once you have a good hand at this. It's quite good. Okay, we are now at circuit altitude roughly. Let's begin our turn onto base without gaining altitude at the same time. Thank you. There we go. Even simple stuff like this, to actually do it well, it takes concentration. It's not just an NGX. Oh, I'm still not on base. It's not just NGX flying and tube liners that's scary. This can also be a handful. lovely terrain there. See the trees there. So Golf Foxtrot Romeo's on base. So let's just pop that in the chat. Golf Foxtrot Romeo on right base at Duxford. There we go. So let's just have a visual look at the airfield. Runway is right there, so we can think about doing our final. Sorry, our. Not did I write base leg? I should have said downwind. Anyway, that's all right. That will. There's no one else around, so actually we'll make our turn onto base. As of now, let's start slowing down so we can get a notch of flaps in. Okay, so our approach and landing checklist. Whoop. Let's watch our altitude. Fuel on proper tank. Mixture is rich. Mixture is now just rich. Electric fuel pump is on. Flaps are set, and seat belts. So, we did lose a little bit of altitude there because we pulled our throttle down. Let's just see if we can hold that altitude. Now we're within flap thingy thing. So let's just pop some first stage flaps in, and let's turn final now, because we were quite close when I just looked over to the left hand side, or the right hand side, sorry. And oh no, I did mess that up. There's much should have gone a bit further before I turned onto my final leg. It's I'm not using track IR right now because I'm on VATSIM, so I should I suppose I should know Duxford a bit more than I do. I should. So we're actually now descending, but we're not on the final leg yet. We're on a kind of diagonal. So now I'm going to start a gradual turn, which will put us on final. And that road there that you see is probably fairly, that road, next time I'll know that road leads us in. Okay, so coming down now, 100 knots, we're going to pop on our landing light, and I can just barely gently feel the wind. It's not a big one at all because it's coming from 030, which is only just off to our left hand side. So there we are. Excuse me. And then once we're a little bit lower, let's just cut our throttle a little bit more. This, by the way, folks, is where Eric Lund landed when he actually did his European tour, when he was doing his flight training, and he came to see me, and I met him here at Duxford, and we went around the museum a little bit, and he saw the Concorde that's in the hangar over there, and yeah. So this is what it looks like virtually. I don't have any scenery for Duxford. Let's just... Now the Cherokee does a thing I'm trying to correct. When I put rudder in to counter the cross, look, the windward wing will drop. So I'm just trying to correct for that. Very, very good. Okay. You can't see my control stick right now. Let's just pop that on. Okay. Mixture. Oh, sorry, throttle on full forwards. And then we'll get back up to... There we go. Liftoff is great. We don't really need to trim because the aircraft was already trimmed. And then let us return to orderly end. There we see is the A14. That's we've just passed over the A14 actually, so we're going to turn. We're going to have a right hand turn out now. Flaps up. Right hand turn out, and we're going to prepare to return to Stansted, and he's going to give us vectors for 04, I believe. So let's just get a southerly heading going on here. So yeah, this is good for the climb, but I'm going to throttle back soon because we don't need all this power. Let's just trim. That's just... Actually, we need to be on the right-hand side of the A14 as we go down, because we were on the right-hand side when coming up. So we don't want to meet potentially any aircraft as they're coming up when we're on the wrong side of the M11. Sorry, it's the M11, folks, not the A14. So let's just throttle back now to our original setting of about 70%. Let's throttle back our mixture, lean our engine to just about 75% engine power as well. And we will prepare to return to Essex approach. Excuse me. Boys and dears, as they say. Right, so that's what we've done. We're going to reset our heading bug to 040 because that's what we know that's the Stansted runway that is going to be used. 04, 041, 039, 041, 041's fine. Oh, don't want to go above 1500 now. Okay, so in a minute we will pop back onto we'll go now. Okay.
Charlie Alpha will be an Abbott 1 Charlie arrival. Alpha 320, Papa Lima, climb now flight level 230.
Roger, Alpha 320, Papa Lima, climbing to flight level 230.
Okay, so so now we have that was, so we're going to do another checklist for the approach and landing again when we get onto base leg, not downwind, not final. We're going to do it base leg because it's cleared for the final. So orderly end coming up again. Good afternoon, Essex Control, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo, entering your airspace via orderly end, altitude 1,400 feet.
Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo, in future you need to call 5 minutes before entry into controlled airspace. Squawk 7414 with ident.
Squawk 7414 with ident, Golf Foxtrot Romeo, apologies. Shall I do circle at orderly end?
Golf Foxtrot Romeo negative, it's not required. Squawk 7414, I'll give you clearance. Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thank you, identified. You're cleared to enter controlled airspace or control zone for the orderly end VFP, not above altitude 1,500 feet, QNH 1017.
Clear to enter the Stansted airspace via orderly end, not above 1,500 feet, QNH 1017, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo is correct, just report your intentions for this approach.
Requesting full stop landing at Stansted.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, roger, and you can join a left-hand downwind runway 04.
Join left-hand downwind runway 04, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Boom, that was quick, that was snappy, that was good. I made a mistake of not calling him soon enough, so that's always a good thing to keep on top of. The reason is that I don't actually fly on VATSIM enough for me to just always do this perfectly. So that was a mistake of mine. So yes. Need to fly VFR more than I do. I need to fly more than I do just in general. Right, let's get down to circuit altitude. I believe would be roughly 1,100 feet. So let's just start bleeding off some altitude now, some speed. So approach, fuel on proper tank. Mixture rich, electric fuel pump has always been on, flaps are set, well flaps are not set, I'll set them later, and fasten seatbelts, so that's all good.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, report on downwind.
We'll report downwind, I will begin my turn soon, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
What up?
Actually, yeah, turning downwind for 04, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, roger, your number 1, report final.
Number 1, report final, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Boom. So again,
Alpha 320 Papa Lima, no further ATC online, 1 Unicorn 122.8, have a great flight, good day.
trying to keep it snappy.
Roger, Alpha 320 Papa Lima, switching to frequency 122.8. Yeah, thank you very much for ATCing. Alpha 320 Papa Lima.
177 Charlie Alpha D7 flight 180 level by Idesi.
Hello, 180 level is this right now 77 Charlie Alpha.
So the wind is acting a bit like a crosswind right now. But yeah, I'm not going to go below 1,000 feet. So I'm number 1 and will report final whenever I get there. So I'm going to make my turn, not yet because I'm not at the end of the runway, I'm just looking over at plan G. There is the end of the runway and I need to be a bit further, so whenever I get kind of to the middle to the end of these houses, I'll turn left.
With you, Stansted, at 737-800.
Just retrim.
155 X-ray Lima, good day, you're clear to Bergamo, Delta 1 Sierra departure, squawk 0334.
Please Blue on the Delta 1 Sierra departure, squawking 0334, Ryanair 55 X-ray Lima.
155 X-ray Lima, read correct, report fully ready.
Okay, I'm going to make my base
Ryanair 55 X-ray Lima.
base turn now. I'm going to get flap notched in. Flaps coming in now. Let's just monitor my altitude, descent rate.
177 Charlie
Speed.
Alpha, after Idesi, fly radar heading 275 degrees.
Slow down to about 100 knots. 100 knots is good. Retrim, retrim, retrim. End of the runway is just over there. So, just retrimming, retrimming. Okay, let's make my turn now. Golf Foxtrot Romeo turning final 04.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, roger, runway 04, clear to land, surface wind 020 degrees, that's 7.
Clear to land 04, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. And there again I messed up my final. Oh well. It's alright. I'm slow and I'm low. I'll be fine. Let's just monitor this approach now. So let's just start easing off. Need about 500 foot descent rate at 100 knots. Yeah, I'm a bit high. Let's get down. Let's get down a little. There we go. So that was a bit of a squishy turn to final approach, but it's fine. Gives us leeway to drift because we've got a left-hand crosswind. But pretty much, I'm actually very satisfied with what we've done this evening. Considering the fact I haven't done VFR flying for a long time, and the fact that this is Stansted, this isn't Shoreham where like no commercial traffic ever comes. Stansted is a
177 Charlie Alpha D7 now, flight level 9.
Stansted's a.
Hello, manager, Ryanair Charlie Alpha.
As you can hear, this is not a busy day, and the controller does have people to talk to. So, I remember the first time I ever flew on VATSIM was the most embarrassing thing ever because I actually took off on this runway the wrong way. It was bad. Anyway, it's the kind of thing you have to go through to actually get to a point where you're proficient on VATSIM. But you need to do this regularly to actually really.
Essex approach, could you just amend my cruising altitude from 230 to 290 right now?
So ready for the rudder in a
Well,
second.
55 X-ray Lima, that's fine. And just
Right.
confirm your final cruise level will be 390.
Kick that rudder. Oh, watch the wings. The wing will
That'll
dip.
be 390.
Okay.
The wing will dip, and down we come. Come on. Stop floating. There we go. Let's just put brakes on. Brakes, because we know that taxiway is soon. Crap, we mixed. Don't miss the taxiway. Screw you. Screw you. Miss the taxiway. Is there another one? Is there another one? Hope there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, good. We're saved. Lols. You've always got to have one moment on VATSIM when you go, oh crap.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, vacate left, taxi via Golf for GA parking, standard choice.
Vacate left and taxi to GA parking, thanks, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. So when you're actually when you actually push that transmit button, it sounds like everything's fine, but actually in the cockpit you can really mess things up sometimes. But I am very glad I decided to get out, even though it's just a short flight. It's always good to get on VATSIM and just find an airport which has a controller and not much going on, and you just pootle around the sky, you know, in a nice little slow plane, and that's just how you learn. You learn in stages. And actually, I mean, if you're an IFR pilot as well and you fly tube-liners all the time, it's always good just to go back to the roots and get back in something like this, because it's refreshing to this is a different brand of flying as opposed to the tube-liner IFR stuff. So, and my voice really is not doing very well, as you can hear. I think I've had some sort of chest infection because my cough and my voice, my throat has been pretty bad for over a week now, so I'm glad that I was able to actually do this flight tonight and actually still speak. So, but yeah, the Cherokee loves fast taxiing, loves to taxi fast. That is one thing. And so that's where we came from. Let's just turn at this next stand marker right here. What does it say? 507. Oop. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Let's just say goodbye. Golf Foxtrot Romeo at GA parking, shutting down. Thanks very much for your service, and Happy New Year.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thanks for Stansted, and you?
Cool. Right, mixture pulled and throttle. Wait for the prop to stop turning, and we'll put the ignition back to 0. Actually, that I should not have done that because I should have turned the avionics off first. I always forget that. Let's just, where's my avionics? Where's my avionics? Oh, I can hear my fuel pump. Let's turn that off. Radio master, that's what it was. I did know it was there. I just couldn't remember what it's called. Let's turn that off and that off. So there you go, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for joining in and watching on this cold, early January rainy day. Let's just pop on my control lock, my wheel chocks, tie downs, engine heater, pitot cover, and finally empty plane. So there we go. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you later.